Hello, I'm Rabbi Alan Tufts, and I'm speaking to you from our media center here at Temple Bethel in Hollywood, Florida. And beside me is Melinda Rubin, who is the director of our religious school, and we wanted to spend a few moments with you to talk to you about this wonderful festival of Chanukah. We want to talk to you a little bit about its history and its significance, and we want to teach you how to light the Chanukiah. Well, Chanukah celebrates religious freedom. Many, many centuries ago, our people in ancient Israel were invaded and occupied by an outside power, by the Syrian Greeks. And the king of the Syrian Greeks, Antiochus IV, said that we could no longer worship as Jews. He put a decree out there that said that we couldn't study Torah, that we couldn't keep Shabbat or the Jewish holidays. And in 167 BCE, the Jewish people, led by Judah Maccabee, had a decisive victory. We fought our way all the way into the temple, and which had been desecrated by the Syrian Greeks, and we found that the eternal light was sputtering. It was just about to go out. There was one cruse of oil, enough to last one night, was all that was in the temple. And in those days, it took a number of days to manufacture that very special oil. But a miracle occurred. While our ancestors were busily making that oil, that little jar of oil lasted for 8 days. And ever since, we have lit 8 candles, one for each of those nights of that very first Chanukah. Now, Melinda, I think I have some information for us about a controversy that took place, a couple of thousand years ago, about just how to light the Chanukiah.
Indeed, indeed. Well, you know how rabbis like to argue, and there were 2 schools of thought about lighting a Chanukiah. One was favored by Shammai, and Shammai thought that on the first night of Chanukah, we should light all 8 candles, and night by night reduce the number of candles. Hillel, on the other hand, thought that we should light 1 candle each night, thereby adding to the light of the Chanukiah. And our common practice now is to follow the school of Hillel, because Judaism teaches us that we constantly want to add to our joy, add to the light in our lives and in our homes.
Oh, beautiful explanation. Now, incidentally, I know many of you call this a menorah, but the candelabrum that we kindle on Chanukah is not a menorah. This is a menorah. There was a candelabrum like this in the ancient temple. Notice it has 7 branches, and that was lit every day. But it was called a menorah. This is called a Chanukiah. Now I'm going to take this menorah, I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to teach you how to light the Chanukiah. Now, when we put the candles in the Chanukiah, we always start at the far right. The first night, for example, we place that first candle in the very far right branch. And then, on the second night, in addition to that candle on the far right, we move a little bit to the left, and we put the second candle in. The third night, moving toward the left, we put the third candle. Now, this is called the Shamash candle, which means the servant candle. Notice it's a little higher than the other candles, and we use the Shamash candle to light the rest of the candles. And we light the candles from the left, moving toward the right. Now, there are 3 blessings that we say when we light the candles, and I'm going to let Melinda take that shamash, and she's going to light that first candle, and we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Now the second blessing is one in which we thank God, not for one miracle,
but for two. The miracle that a small group of Jews fought off a huge army and was able to continue practicing Judaism. And the second miracle, of course, was the fact that the oil in the temple lasted 8 days.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim la'avoteinu, bayamim ha'hem bazman hazeh. And now this third blessing is only said on the first night of Chanukah. It's called the Shehechianu, and it celebrates the beginning of joyous occasions. So if you know it, please join with us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehechianu, v'kiyamanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. Amen. And Chanukah begins.
It begins this year on Friday night, December 11th, but every year on the 25th of Kislev. The Jewish calendar is different than the secular one, but Hanukkah is always on the 25th of Kislev.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Chag Sameach.